CNN CEO Chris Licht out after Trump town hall. Fallout. Brutal Atlantic article. This is a CNBC story. And then the reason why he got fired. Page 12, if you want to go to it. Page 12, where we at here? Okay, there we go. Chris Licht is stepping down as CEO of CNN after just over a year in the position following a series of setbacks, including the cancellation of the CNN Plus streaming service. You put that on the guy. He had only been there for a year. And declining ratings, Warner Brothers Discovery, the parent company of CNN, announced the departure and stated that a search would be conducted internally and externally for a new CEO. Licht's exit was triggered by multiple factors, including a town hall event with former President Donald Trump that drew criticism and resulted in a rating drop. Additionally, rating drop, that a record-breaking rating. Additionally, an unflattering article in The Atlantic titled, "Inside the Meltdown at CNN," contributed to the decision. In a memo to staff, Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav took responsibility for the outcome and expressed appreciation for Licht's effort and dedication. And here's a story from Politico, the real reason behind Chris Licht getting fired. Chris Licht's departure as CNN CEO was influenced by a critical profile in The Atlantic. Again, same story. Licht was perceived as subservient to Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Savvy made changes that were seen as rebukes by CNN staff, that his distance from newsrooms and failure to charm their staff worsen his situation. Firing Licht will not solve CNN's problem. As the cable news industry is in decline, the new CEO will inherit a damaged organization and should learn from Licht's mistakes while building relationships with the staff. Tom.
Licht inherited a damaged organization.
Seriously.
Malik, do you have the chart we have on the ratings? It's from the Economist, the pink chart.
Quicksilver.
It was sent it to you today. Anyway, so the ratings disaster at CNN had started as soon as the election was over. And as soon as that election was over, suddenly all they had was COVID, number one. Chris Licht gets brought in by David Zaslav to be a turnaround specialist. He was a showrunner. This guy is a gifted showrunner. And by the way, he still is a gifted showrunner who had a very, very tough year at his job. You know, he built Stephen Colbert's show. He built CBS This Morning. He built Morning Joe. So this is a showrunner, not a guy that's ready to run an organization. And PBD, we see people like this at the Vault Conference. People at the Vault Conference who are running great organizations versus people who are just kind of monolithic executives. Chris Licht is a showrunner hired by David Zaslav to turn around CNN. Take a look at this. What happened to ratings, Pat? Here's the chart. Right after the election, whammo, they all drop. Look at that rating drop when there's nothing to talk about Trump except January 6th, and it's COVID. Fox was the only one that moderated programming, and you can see their ratings dropped after the election cycle, but then leveled out closer to where they were beforehand.
Holy
see that?
Moly.
Whereas CNN and NBC, Pat, you see their ratings.
By the way, they peaked at the same exact level. Look at CNN and Fox. Same exact peak. Do you see it?
First week in November, 2020.
My goodness.
The election.
So that's the mistake.
That's right. That was a mistake. So Zaslav doesn't bring in a turnaround guy. He brings in Chris Licht. And Chris Licht, by the way, what had happened at CNN? You know, CNN had the controversy of, who was that guy?
Jeff Zucker?
No,
the president?
The Zooming jacker, Jeffrey Toobin.
Jeffrey Toobin masturbating on a Zoom call.
Remember that guy?
Yeah, they brought him back.
Yep. And then Cuomo. They had this issue with Cuomo. And then they had Don Lemon was already in the penalty box when Chris Licht walked in and said, "Hey, Chris, turn this thing around." And so he does CBS This Morning, and they said, "What am I going to do? I've got this idea to put women on and do this just like I did CBS This Morning. I'll call it CNN This Morning." Well, you need to use Don Lemon. Why? Well, he's under contract. Why? That was a decision that he got forced into. We all know what happened there. Eventually, Lemon didn't get along with his estrogen-charged, co-host. And you look at what happened here, and they were already having it. So was it a good idea to let The Atlantic follow you around for an article? No. Was it by the way, CNN Plus was also canceled as he was walking in the door. So for everybody that says this was all on Chris Licht, a guy who wasn't a turnaround specialist was brought in. Not a good idea to do the Atlantic thing. And the couple things that he tried to build his shows, he was kind of hamstrung. That didn't work. And guess what came out this morning? A story is that the people that have been talking to the media and leaking thing is a bunch of Zucker loyalists who are now back where they were. But guess what? The other side of it is private equity people know David Zaslav's playbook. And you know what? CNN is only 5% of Warner Brothers Discovery, 5%. But it was 71% of the headlines for the last 6 months. That's not what you want.
No.
I think Zaslav's going to say, for what am I bid for this wounded puppy? I think that's where it's going. But I think they've been too hard on Chris Licht, even though there's some things he did, okay. Atlantic article, not a good idea.
By the way, just so people know who this guy was, he was the executive producer and the showrunner for The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
A breakout show against other bigger shows.
Right, and as well as CBS's executive vice president of special programming. He's also known for having launched Morning Joe on MSNBC and the reboot of CBS This Morning. This is not a guy that's not like a lightweight guy. He's part of the Democratic. He is part of that community. He is a guy that's, willing to support that community. This guy was a qualified guy for that job, but they needed somebody to target and go after.
Now they're blaming him, but he walked into the Jeff Zucker mess.
And Pat, you guys are talking about CNN, Chris Licht. All this starts with one guy, all this demise. One guy saying 2 words to Jim Acosta. Fake news. This all started from that one moment, and it's gone all downhill from Trump to where the fake news comment. And then think about it. They put him on a town hall. They try to gain, they want to get some clout back. And then the viewers are like, why the hell did you put him on there? It all started with Trump. And I'm so happy that this is happening to everybody at that crappy-ass news network.
By the way, you said Jim Acosta. Do they know about when you were in Ukraine?
No, did they not know that?
Do you have that clip, Rob?
Oh, my goodness.
When you go ahead, you were going to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
You paid visit to Ukraine like 2 weeks ago. Go ahead.
Yeah, before we see that excellent video that you did while you were right on the grounds of Ukraine, which definitely wasn't fake whatsoever.
Nothing happened to me either.
The guy Chris Licht, number one, I don't think most people can pick him out of a lineup if you paid them. So he was there. He came in, a year ago? He took the place of Jeff Zucker. Jeff Zucker was running CNN for multiple decades. I actually had high hopes for this guy because I think if his campaign message was anything, it was he wanted to bring CNN more to the middle. Was that not what it was?
Yep.
That was kind of what he was looking to do. And I actually thought that was been a good move for them. But what we've realized is you need to play to your base. And CNN's base at this point is definitely on the left. Fox News' base is definitely on the right. How many people were up in arms when Tucker was let go from Fox News? Not a good look for them. But further proof that cable news is dying and that they're just looking for anything to basically as an excuse. Their ratings were up when Trump was there, and when they did the town hall, they had Pence just there. Flop. Nobody really cared about that. But the interesting thing will be 2 things. What's next for this guy? Where's he going? Because he's going to be high in demand. I guarantee you that. And then who's next for CNN? Be very interesting. People are all up in arms on Linda Yaccarino being brought in as the Twitter CEO. Let's see who the new CEO of CNN is and see what they stand for.
Firing Chris Licht, the only person you can bring in is somebody that Zucker approves of.
Don Lemon?
No
It's
way.
got to be somebody that Zucker approves of. And you'll find somebody. Zucker's going to send a loyalist, but that doesn't mean the ratings are going to improve. To say your best show was when you had Trump back on, you know how embarrassing that is to the brand of CNN. That's what they're embarrassed of. And Licht was just trying to do his job. Go ahead, Rob. Play this clip when Vinnie was in Ukraine working for CMM a couple weeks ago.
But who was I?
Yeah, go ahead. Watch this here.
We're going to go live with our in-the-field news correspondent, Jim Acosta.
I'm glad you made it.
Jim
Thank
is
you.
on the ground in Ukraine, directly in harm's way.
Look how dangerous
how's
this
it
was.
looking out there?
Front lines.
Not good, Karen. I am literally in the trenches right now.
Look, I almost got killed.
It's insane. Russian forces have infiltrated
Rob,
our
move
stronghold. I am in a foxhole as we speak with a Ukrainian soldier. Forrest, want to say anything?
Look at
You're being attacked left and right.
Look at the explosion. There's gas. There's gas.
Explosions are happening left and right, and this weather is just adding insult to injury.
Look, I almost got shot. He doesn't even move.
Twice, as you can see, I stubbed
Your
my
level
big
of
toe
courage
really
is-
hard, and I got the clap. But none of that matters. The only thing that matters is reporting real news.
Real news.
In real time. And listen, if I don't make it out of here, somebody please tell my wife.
Oh my God, Jim? Jim Acosta.
Who's this guy?
Yes.
Yeah, I love you.
Jim
You're
Acosta.
so convincing, man.
Thank you.
You know how many times I've fallen for your stuff?
I appreciate you. I appreciate
Can I get a picture with
I mean, yeah, I'm in the middle of shooting
you? It's
something.
unfreaking believable.
This is ridiculous.
Oh my God, CMM.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, you guys got to keep it up.
appreciate
You
it.
are so convincing. Keep lying for ratings. It's phenomenal.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for everything. Thanks for running the shot. Kelly, will you stop? The jig is up. All right, Boris, stop smoking.
That's CMM.
It's
CMM.
Bro,
The most
CMM.
untrusted
Shout out,
Jim Acosta.
by the way, subscribe to Valuetainment Comedy.
Yeah.
If you want to
Yeah.
see more stuff like that, Vinny's
Don't play
doing that
games.
weekly.
Thank you. CMM.
Hey, if you enjoyed this short clip, you want to watch the whole thing, click over here. But if you want to make 2023 the beginning of the greatest years of your life, I host a conference once a year. It's called the Vault Conference, where 3,000 CEOs, executive, entrepreneurs from around the world come together to strategize for 3.5 days. This year it's going to be at Miami Diplomat Resort. And the speakers this year is going to be Tom Brady. He'll be there. I'll be interviewing him. Mike Tyson, Will Guidara, the guy that ran 11 Madison in New York. If you run a business, if you're a CEO, entrepreneur, and executive, this is not an event you want to miss out on. Get yourself, your spouse, your business partner, your running mates registered, and I look forward to seeing you there. Click on the link here or see the link in the description, and I hope to spend 3.5 days with you in Miami in August and September. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.